So now that we've gotten all of the pieces together, we're going to go ahead and start to assemble. Okay, we cut out a lot of the pages already. I actually have the book ready to go over here, but I just wanted to show you how to do the measurements on the Bind It All to cut the pages out. Okay, you want to make sure that the arm is out. When you do the pages, I actually went all the way to the edges. Normally, you would just line it up with the very edge here, and then you would have a little bit of a space on the end of each. But because I am going to be doing cascading on the inside of the book, I want the holes to go all the way to the very edge. So I am going to start by lining up the edge of the paper with the edge of the Bind It All. Okay, and then I'm going to move this down so that it's at the second to the last hole to make sure that the holes are lined up perfectly. And you can see this last hole is going to be right at the very edge there. So you just punch it again. Then you're going to flip this around so that you can get to the very edge of this side and just line up the hole there. And there you go. So that's perfectly lined up. Okay. Now for the other pages, I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to line up the page with the end, punch the hole, move it down to the second to the last hole, punch again, and then flip it around and punch again. And there you go. The holes are all lined up perfectly. Now for the smaller ones, what you're going to do is you're going to line up the paper with the grooves that are here, okay? But this is going to leave extra space if I were to just line it up evenly right in the center. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this down, and I'm lining up the end with the groove that's on the Bind It All right here. I'll show you. So there's a groove right here. So the end of my paper is lining there, not with the end of the machine, but with the end of the groove right there. Okay, and then I just move this down so that it goes into the first hole. And there you go. Perfectly lined up holes. Okay, and then for the teeniest little one, this one you do line up right in the very center. There are arrows right here, and there's a bump right in the center of that little tag page thing. So you're going to line that right up with the center, just like that, and then punch. And again, your holes are perfectly lined up. Okay, now let's start to build, and we will go into hyperspeed.